हेलो यंग फ्रेंड्स, मैं ग्रुप कैप्टन के श्रीवास्तवा। वेलकम टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल। यंग फ्रेंड्स, आई एम श्योर आप में से कुछ इस चैनल पर शायद पहली बार आए हैं, तो ऐसे लोगों को इन्फॉर्मेशन के लिए मैं बता देता हूं कि इस चैनल पर आपको अभी तक, यानी इस वीडियो के अलावा आपको 98 वीडियोस मिलेंगे, और उसमें से फर्स्ट वीडियो इज अबाउट माय introduction. It is about my qualification and credentials. And remaining 97 videos, friends, they have got one aim. And this aim is to provide authentic knowledge about the SSB and particularly about the psych technique. And my methodology, friends, is to clear your concepts. Friends, go through the videos, and in case you like the contents, please subscribe the channel, share the contents with those people who are needy and those who are serious aspirants of SSB. Don't go anywhere. In a second, I'll be sharing the nutshell of my introduction and credentials. Young friends, look at the slide. My name is Group Captain A.K. Srivastava. I'm a retired education officer of the Indian Air Force. I'm a postgraduate in psychology, and I have done my super specialization in defense mechanism testing from Inter Persona, London. Friends, I have been the psychologist member of two of Air Force selection boards, that is Mysore and Varanasi. I've also been the headmaster, that means the academic head of two Sainik schools. I was instructor and counselor twice at Air Force Academy, that it's the alma mater of all air warriors, officers I'm talking about. I was on contractual basis the SSB consultant and personality trainer of Sainik School Rewari for 1.5 years. And after my retirement, I was absorbed by Punjab government as psychologist and personality trainer in one of their premier institutes, that is Maharaja Ranjit Singh Armed Forces Preparatory Institute. Friends, I saw the SSB aspirants in two ways. That is by conducting a guidance program that I conduct generally twice a month, and by dossier evaluation and counseling. Friends, my methodology is not to prescribe, but to explain. And as a student of psychology, I have got a very firm belief that your responses cannot be finite. Creativity cannot be finite. When a prescription is given to you, then you start closing your mind and adjusting according to the prescriptions given. Anyway, let us come to the topic for today's videos. Friends, you can see the slide. On the screen, it is written structuring TAT stories, and the matter to be discussed today is events and stories must flow logically. Young friends, let me make a background for today's video's topic. Young friends, I have cautioned you against many misnomers, many such beliefs which are prevalent in the environment, yet they are not productive. And why they are not productive, that also has been told to you. It has been explained to you with logic. अब आज के बारे में बात करते हैं, आज के टॉपिक के बारे में बात करते हैं। तो फ्रेंड्स, it has been repeatedly stressed in my videos that the TAT or the thematic perception test or the picture story writing test is the most important test of the tasks in psychological test battery. And friends, this is most unfortunate at the same time that this is very, very badly understood also. Okay. There are multiple reasons. Let us not go into the details of the reasons, but here today, I would like to bring to your attention the fact that TAT is the test of imagination, and imagination does not happen in vacuum. Your stories must be related with the realistic life. Otherwise, if you are utilizing too much of imagination, then it will turn out to be a fantasy. It will become unrealistic. Okay. What is a realistic story? It has to be connected with the real life, and the events that the stories will be containing, they have to flow logically from past to present and further to future. And when I say it has to logically flow, so that means the environment, the human beings, their actions, they are to be well connected, logically connected. Whether something is feasible or not, this should be reflected in the stories. Otherwise, there will be a disconnect. It will appear as if you have written something just for the sake of it. And there will appear a disconnect between the projected pictures and the stories thereon. So friends, the logical flow of events, how the environment and the characters' actions are integrated in the stories logically, that we will see with the help of two example stories. And these are the real stories. You know, many people approach me for dossier assessment counseling. And these two stories, they belong to one candidate whose dossier assessment I finished day before yesterday. So let's see, with the help of examples, how the things, they are not in accordance to the logical, connectivity, or they are not flowing logically. Just a minute. Bear with me. Let me go on to the slide and reflect it for you. Friends, your attention to slide. You can see on the top, here is the picture, and the candidates dossiers, what must I say, the screenshot is here. But since the screenshot is smaller, you will not be in a position to understand it properly, or it will not be visible. So that's why I have typed it here, the story. But before that, I request you, please look at the picture very, very critically. Look at the environment. Look at the action. Here you see there is, I won't say it's a old, but middle-aged person. And this person's left-hand side is pointing something towards the young man. There is a young couple in front of him, and there's a small girl. Okay, maybe about, 5 to 6 years old girl. She is there by the right-hand side of the person. And the picture very clearly suggests that the middle-aged person is communicating something, and that too with a concern. Okay. So let's see what the story is like. I'm reading the story. Chaitanya, a 23-year-old software engineer, got a package of 18 lakhs per annum at TCS, Mumbai. He did his job for 3 months and came back home on a leave for a few days. There he discussed with his parents about his new routine, how he was thinking to take the family's expenses, told his father that he has been looking for a suitable partner for his sister and will be financing whole marriage. His father was emotional. After listening to him and praised him, his father was proud of him. Now, friends, let us analyze this story from the viewpoint of a psychologist. Before I, transit this slide, take this slide away, and once again establish eye contact with you, I'd like you to please see this picture once again critically, particularly the action and the environment. Okay. Let us see the analysis of the psychologist of this picture. The picture doesn't have a defined task, first of all. All the story, I'm sorry, it's not the picture, I stand corrected. The story which is written by the candidate or written by the student or the mentee doesn't have a well-defined task. There's no task as such to be achieved. All it is reflecting is on the social side, that is the thinking and the attitude of that person as a responsible son. There's nothing like a mention of any resource, human as well as material, because there is no well-defined task. But what is my greatest observation about this story being misaligned with the instructions given by the psychologist is, if you have noticed the environment, friends, if such a discussion, if such a communication happens with the parents, let's say the middle-aged person is taken to be the parents, the girl who is standing by the side of the young man is to be taken as the sister, and the person towards the right-hand side is the hero or the protagonist. Now, if one such a serious discussion would take place in family, that, well, he will say the father to retire, he will say that I'm taking the expenses of the family and I'll be funding the entire, expenditure of sister's marriage. In which environment, logically, such a kind of discussion will take place? Maybe when you are sitting very close by, maybe over a cup of tea, maybe with the smiling faces, he will be discussing about his routine, etc., etc. And then he will communicate his intention. What is the environment shown in the picture? The environment shown in the picture is that they are standing maybe in a gallery or some place which is not the part of the house. So just, examine yourself the logical feasibility of such a discussion or connectivity. What is the environment in which such a type of discussion with the family should take place or can take place? Now, the conclusion of the psychologist in that case will be, friends, that the candidate has not perceived the projected picture correct. Remember, friends, this is thematic or perception test. Or perception is something which is following the perception. So if your perception is faulty, you are not in a position to perceive the environment projected, then rest everything that follows will be mere you can say it's a forced logic. This might convince only the writer and not the reader. So let me come to the point, friends, that the events must flow logically, and it is not only the events but the environment that is projected on the screen that must be logically integrated with the story. Friends, I'm sure you must have got the point that the first picture that we have just discussed, in case we have to put a summary, that the candidate has not logically integrated the environment into the story. Now, friends, let's come to the second story. Just a minute. I'll bring the slide. The same way, we will see the picture and we will read the story. Young friends, your attention to the slide. This is the picture towards the left-hand side. You may say the position is on the top of the slide. And here you can see it is the screenshot of the story, and here is the story. Look at the picture critically and closely. What do you see? The environment I'm talking about, the persons, the actions. All these three things will, if integrated together, they will make the situation. Remember the instructions of the psychologist. What led to the situation? What is going on? And what the outcome will be? These three questions must be answered in the stories. Now, the story goes like this. Rakesh, a 22-year-old automation engineer at Siemens, Nashik, was coming back to his home in the evening. While going to his apartment, he saw that a man was holding a knife and was threatening two young boys. He saw that one of the boys was lying unconscious there. He took a nearby rod and confronted the man. He also called the passing by people to help. With the help of people, he captured that man and called police. He also took unconscious boy and gave him water. When the police came, he handed over that man to the police and went back home. Before the slide transits away from your screen, I'd request you to please look at the slide a little critically once again. Right, friends. I'm sure you must have noticed the environment in the picture projected. Whatever environment it is, the hero was returning home and he was going to his apartments. And on the way, he saw maybe some antisocial element was threatening two boys at knife point. Look at the picture once again. I mean, the picture is not on the screen right now, but remember, this picture shows that there is a ladder case and there's nothing, it looks like a basement. Does it appear to be a pathway to the apartment? Question. I'm repeating. ये जो आप पिक्चर में देखा आपने, क्या किसी अपार्टमेंट का रास्ता दिखाई दे रहा है? How much logical it is to take the projected environment to be the pathway, or some place leads to the environment? Certainly not. Number two, he saw that the person was threatening two boys. Threatening two boys, all right. For what purpose? Two young boys. Now here you perceive the picture. I mean, you remember the picture once again. The boys, they are not young boys. You see the proportion of the body. They appear, both the people, one of them who's lying there unconscious, and the second person who was halfway, raising his hand like this. Okay. Both of them, they appear the full-grown persons. Okay. Just for the sake of your memory, let me return to the slide. I told you, friends, that this appears to be a basement rather than a pathway to some apartment. You can once again see the picture and confirm. Another thing is that the guy who is lying there and the person who is halfway, their body size, and the person who is there threatening, the goon, There's hardly any difference. How can you conclude that these are the young boys? And if at all a person has to threaten the young boys, what was the purpose of it? Are the young boys so rich? I mean, is the threat is for money? Or what is the purpose? Yes, as far as the tackling of the things is concerned, so he took a rod and he just encountered them, encountered the goon, overpowered, handed over to the police, called the other passerby. It's okay. I don't have anything against that. I don't want to negate the possibility. The person could fight well. It's okay. But the basic question remains, is the environment and the actions, or here in the second picture, even the human beings, have they been perceived logically? Is is the environment leading to some apartments? Perhaps not. So friends, the sum and substance of the matter is that the TAT is something very, very critical, very, very important. It is not to be taken lightly. Remember, TAT is the only test of all the task and psychological test battery wherein you get extra 30 seconds to perceive the picture and organize your thoughts. In WAT, straight away, the words are projected and you start writing your responses. Similarly, in SRT, the moment psychologist says, now you can open and start writing. So you open your test booklets, read and write your responses. You are not given any second extra. Similarly, the SD, the moment psychologist says that, well, these are the instructions and your time starts now, you are not given even a second extra to organize your thoughts. But in TAT, friends, remember, we give you 30 seconds. In those 30 seconds, my recommendation is that please watch the picture very critically. Utilize your first 10 to 15 seconds. Have your attention focused on the projected picture. You will only then be in a position to perceive the details. Right, friends? So, in a nutshell, I would like to say that do not take leave of logic. Their projected environment and actions of the people, they have to be logically integrated so that logically integrated in the stories, so that the story, the task, the resources, all these things, they appear to be well knit logically. Friends, मैं ग्रुप कैप्टन AK Srivastava. My contact numbers are mentioned here. You may contact me for online guidance, dossier evaluation, and personal counseling related to the preparation of psychological technique for the SSBs. Friends, visit my channel, share the contents with the serious aspirants, and you'll find a lot of misnomers will be sorted out, and you will be in a position to conceptualize the SSB much, much better, particularly about the psychological technique. Thank you very much. Appreciate your patience. Have a nice day. God bless you all.